In what may have been described as President Bola Tinubu's significant charm offensive in the southeast, Saturday's visit to Enugu, his first to the political capital of the geopolitical zone, provided opportunity to inaugurate key projects executed by Governor Peter Mbah. It also served as a platform for engaging with key stakeholders in the region. Notably, the visit saw the president defending his administration's flagship economic policy of removing petrol subsidies, saying it was necessary. And for more on this, we're joined live in the studio by a political affairs commentator, and that's Ideho. Good evening. Glad to have you join me on the news.
Thank you for having me.
I mean, this is not the first visit, presidential visit to Nigeria. What do you think makes this one different?
Well, it makes it different because it's happening in the Igbo country. That's the southeast. The southeast region, Nigeria has, been crying like a crying baby in a manner of speaking that they have been marginalized, that they are not in the center of things. They are not, politically speaking, they are not within the central of things. So the president going over to the southeast is very fundamental, and also going to Enugu. Enugu used to be the capital of the eastern region those days, so it's a very strategic move. And then you also understand that the president is also trying to shop for new partners, politically speaking. If you look at the backlash of the tax reform bill, the North appears not to be giving the president British at all, and of course they're not also holding ladder up for him. So, and you know that 2027 is very close, and politicians being who they are, they always look for how to shop for new partners, how to shop their own their base. So going to the southeast and then going to Enugu, as I said, which of course primarily the former capital, the capital of southeastern Nigeria, is very strategic. Yes.
Well, we've seen different insinuations saying this is more than just the headlines, that it means something much more.
Of course.
Do you think this has another political undertone?
Yes, it does. And for instance, Tinubus, as I said, will want to widen its political scope, political, whatever you call it, maybe grounds. And then Southeast has never actually, gone the other way of progressive. They've always been very conservative. You see, whether like it or not, you saw they're holding on tight to the PDP, whatever you like it, but until Obi came, and then he brought Labour. Labour was also an offshoot of PDP. So the Southeast, apart from the governor of Imo State that decided to, have something to do with the APC, the Igbo country, or Southeast, has never really been the progressive. It's always been very conservative. So now I think Tinubu going over there, also he may want to extend that olive branch to them to say, okay, why don't you join me? Look at what he was saying. He said, you are building, and not all of us are one. We are like a family that's in the single house and many rooms and all that. So it's very strategic. Don't be too surprised that in the days to come, you may be hearing that Mbah, that governor of Enugu State, may be thinking of crossing over to APC is not impossible in political equation of Nigeria. So I think that's exactly what people are saying. The political watchers, as I just said, I'm also a political watcher, and these are the things I think I'm seeing in my own crystal ball. It's
a good thing you talked about strategy. Some Igbo leaders are insinuating this visit to Enugu State may, in fact, impact the release of Nnamdi Kanu. How true is this?
It may. I like that it may, but it may not necessarily or primarily be connected. You see, whatever approach more that they were trying to do, Tinubu is a master strategist, okay? He knows exactly when to sink in the hook. Nnamdi Kanu's matter may not come immediately, but it may just be a systematic way of going. Well, first of all, let me see how to build a bridge between the east and his southwest. As I said, he appears to be losing ground in the north, so he may want new friends. I mean, what's stopping him from getting to the southeast? And he also has friends in the south. So south with 6 states, southeast with 5 states, that's about 11 states. So if he's able to build those bridges that are very, very germane to his political structure, I'm sure he will do it. But Nnamdi Kanu may not necessarily feature now in the first stanza of Tinubu's inroad into the southeast.
Now, talking about the southeast, you may recall that as soon as Peter Mbah assumed office, he went visiting the president, Bola Tinubu. What do you think that visit signifies?
Well, it signifies that the southeast may want a shift from their traditional way of playing politics of the republicanism. They say, okay, for instance, they will tell you don't have a leader. There's a saying in Igbo that Igbo is lazy, meaning that Igbo doesn't have any leader they defer to. Okay, so if you also go to the south, you also, I'm sure you must have heard of this issue of autonomous community. So they all want to be autonomous. So rather than build, a very strong region like you see in the southwest. When you mention certain things, you see the Yoruba nation coming together, but it's not like that in Igbo land. Okay, so Peter Mbah, yes, even though he's from PDP, you know, PDP, the house of PDP is a shambles, and in manner of speaking. So Peter Mbah will also want somewhere to rehabilitate. No, if you call it rehabilitate, I don't think I'll be wrong. So somewhere where he can get a foothold, a stronghold, politically speaking, because he is coming in for the very first time as the governor, okay? So he may want something for the future. So if you look at PDP may not be able to offer him that strength that it will require for him to build a very, very strong political future. So APC may just be a vehicle for him to use. So that's why when you saw that first visit and then also extending this invitation to the president, president of the APC, even the president of Nigeria, but Peter Mbah of the PDP. So it doesn't happen every time for an inter-party invitation to happen. So, but you're seeing it. He visited, then he's now extending a visit of, okay, you come to our place. And if he knows Tinubu is not, he calculates what he does. So it doesn't go everywhere every time. So going to the southeast, not going to where he has Imo State is an extension of the APC. So, but he has not gone to Imo State. But how come Tinubu is starting with Enugu State that is not within, not his kitty? So one would have expected he's going to start from Imo State, which is of course an APC state, but he didn't do that. He's going to Enugu, like the PDP that is supposed to be an enemy party. So you can deduce that he has a lot of things that he wants to do with that.
And now from the south, let's talk about the northern region of Nigeria. We have seen agitation from some northern leaders kicking against the tax reform bill. Regarding the southeast now, what do you perceive to be the most pressing issue for them, and how do you think the president should address those issues?
For the southeast?
Yes.
Well, southeast, there are two major issues that they want to focus on. Number one is the release of Nnamdi Kanu, which of course is central to their demand. Okay, release Nnamdi Kanu so that they can have that freedom. Number two is the southeast also want to come into the center of things, okay? Whether I like it or not, the Southeast, you always want to play politics to say no, and always want to be the whipping boys. They want to say, okay, they want to play the victim. But now that you are having this semblance of wanting to return or to have themselves within the cauldron, if you will, of political speaking, I think they might just want to belong to the center of things where they will no longer be playing regional politics anymore, but central politics, which is what Tinubu did. Tinubu, when he was the leader of the AD, and then from AD transitioned into AC transitioned to ACN. So he started from Lagos. He was able to bulldoze it, with speaking, and then claim the whole Southwest. Now, Southwest, he said, well, he was a regional leader, but it wasn't enough for him. So there was this, he now had to extend a hand of fellowship towards the other party, the CPC, where Buhari came from, and then you had the ABGA, where Rocha Sokoraja came from, and then you also had the new PDP. You remember the amateur of this one, all of them jammed, and then Bukola Saraki, they all joined together, and then what they call the straight bedfellow were cohabiting together, and today that's what gave birth to APC. Today, Tinubu is a national leader, not a regional leader, you understand? So the APC also, the Southwest also want, Southeast, I meant to say, we also want to leave that issue of regional politics to want to go to the center so that they can also play in the center.
And that's a fine place to wrap up. Thank you so much for your perspective and, of course, your kind company, Charles Ideho,
yes, thank you.
Political affairs commentator. Many thanks indeed.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.